Humidor shop talk. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Sports. Humidor shop talk. Cigars. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk. Get ready. Humidor shop talk.
We here back here on this Saturday morning, man. This cold Saturday morning. I know everybody had a cold Friday night, but guess what? We finna warm y'all up with some of this sports news and shenanigans as we usually do every week. So light your sticks, get your coffee or get your whiskey with a touch of coffee, however you do it. But we about to get in it. I'm finna bring in my guys today. Give you a heads up, PG69 and Angry Man. Them cats had to punch the clock, so they won't be with us today. But guess what? I got my man. You know what? Him and these names are rather than DJ, DY Nemesis. I'm going to bring you on in. And please explain your name to everybody out there.
Top of the morning, everybody. Good to see everybody back on the show for the ride again. If you know what I know, then I'll just say this. Wait for it. If anybody know who Barney Stinson is, he the proprietor of the Wait For It.
Boy, you know you be having some names.
And he also in the Dirtbag Hall of Fame. The TV Dirtbag Hall of Fame.
Well, that means he a fellow brother.
Oh, yeah. He part of the family.
He fam?
Oh, yeah.
He fam. Fellow dirtbag. You know what I'm saying? We got our boy Time to Black Out. I know what that means, but I don't think everybody else know what that means. So I'm going to bring in my boy, Lucky Lefty.
What up? What up? What up? Y'all know what it is, man. That time of year. Annual Hooky Day. Is what this year got to be about year 8 or 9 for the blackout.
Bro, I lost count.
We've been doing it for a while, man. Hey, it's always an exciting time of year. It is man, March Madness, NBA heating up. Y'all know, man, it is what it is. And if you don't know about the blackout, you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody.
Those are facts.
You better ask somebody. Tell your boss you ain't coming in today. It's one. It's definitely one. One for the books.
And tell your liver that everything will be okay. Just go with it.
And drink a lot of water. Hey, Ben, put up the regular flyer. You got the regular flyer? I have to say the date.
It'll be there before the end of the show.
All right. Yeah. Drink a lot of water leading up to it.
Pace yourself.
That's the key right there. Pace yourself. You got cats that want to wake up early in the morning. RJ, you know, and start at 6 o'clock in the morning. You done by
go right 10
in. O'clock. Right. And then you got cats that want to come in and then just get it going. No, pace yourself, son. Pace yourself.
You'll be dead by noon.
And you know, you definitely gonna get put on blast if you did early. But I also want to give a shout out to the new Captain America, Anthony Mackie. I don't know. I think I did put it in the group where he was on the J Hood show.
When he hit the dirt bag.
He hit the dirt bag. He hit the guru. And
he hit the dirt bag.
Then he bust the grip.
All in one grip.
Right.
All in one motion.
Full grip.
I said he is also a fellow brethren. He a brethren. I said
need to make him an honorary smoke fella just because.
Bro,
let's make him with the Captain America colors.
Oh yeah.
Right. He hit every move. I said, this dude, look at what, man.
He went in.
Man, so DY, you wanted to talk about the NBA All-Star game fallout, thoughts, all of that good stuff, man. So I'll let you go ahead and take that away.
For sure. Let's go ahead and get it started with the ride. Let's start with the rundown today. Top of the week, NBA All-Star game, NBA All-Star weekend festivities. A lot of discussion, a lot of fallout to come from that whole weekend worth of events or lackluster events, for lack of a better term. So just a couple quick things to point out, and a couple ideas that I have for All-Star weekend going forward. But I read a report that said this was the lowest rated All-Star game in 21 years. And I'm trying to understand 21 years ago, back in 2004, I think Mike was that Mike last All-Star game?
I believe so.
So
it was definitely near the end for him.
Or maybe it was the year after Mike. Maybe it was the year after Mike.
Yeah.
So which I could certainly understand, but at the same time, my question for the fellas here, has Adam Silver run out of ideas? Has this whole All-Star weekend lost its flair?
Yes, it's you know what, they have no other choice but to go USA versus the world. They have to at this point.
February 9th, 2003 was Mike's last All-Star game.
So that was the first one without him. The first one without Mike. Yeah. So at this point, you got to go USA versus the world. We just watched, hockey with the big, the little international thing they did, USA versus, the thing they did with their All-Star weekend, which got great reviews. It was competitive. I think you have no other choice.
4 Nations tourney.
4 Nations tournament. That's what's called. My bad. 4 Nations. Yeah, you got to do it, man. You can't. At this point, you didn't exhausted all possibilities unless you're gonna do like KD said, just give them the damn weekend off, or just do like the NFL did with the Pro Bowl, and just have some skill challenges and a flag football game, and just have some little horse or something crazy. If it's not gonna be competitive, so I think we one step closer to USA versus the world. I think the 4 Nations thing in hockey showed the NBA that it's time. It's time to go there.
I'll say the first mistake of the All-Star weekend was back when they moved it to Valentine's Day weekend. When they went to the second week of February, that also killed a lot of cats from being able to watch the game. Oh, you better watch the game, then be with me.
That's the NFL fault, though. Remember, the Super Bowl used to be in January. Remember, the Super Bowl used to be at the end of January.
Yeah. So,
and then the All-Star game was the week after. Now the Super Bowl moved back. So
So another jab from the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, here I'm gonna add insult to injury. 2 years from now, the Super Bowl is gonna be played on that weekend. So the NBA got 2 years to kind of figure this out, because the NFL is coming. And guess what? It's also coming on the President's Day weekend. So most people getting that Friday and that Monday off. and or that Monday off automatically. So the NFL finna capitalize they finna turn it into a real full weekend worth of events that the NBA would never be able to compete with.
But do you all agree they don't have no choice? It got to be NBA versus the U.S. versus international. It's the only thing left.
Yeah, I mean, and like I mentioned earlier, I had an idea for it. I think similar to the Four Nations tournament, I think you could do something similar. You know, don't have to call it USA versus the world, but it could be USA team and America's team, which could encompass Mexico, Canada, South America, Caribbean islands, players from there. And then you got a European team and an Asian team, you know, and the Asian team can encompass Africa, so on and so forth. So I think if you divide it up into something like that versus just being USA versus international, you know, the country right now is kind of reeling with everything that's going on politically. I think putting it in that scope and that idea might be a little dangerous, you know, especially when it comes to trying to gain ratings. But I think
but then you have to do like the Four Nations. You have to extend it. Then you have to start earlier.
Exactly.
Instead of doing that game to 40 bullshit round robin shit they did, which was trash. But you'll have to do like the Four Nations and play Friday, Saturday, and the championship game Sunday or Monday, however you would decide to do it.
Got to be a full game, man. It can't be this.
But now you risking injuries. You risking veteran players that you adding 3 more games to them. You know what I mean? So that's why I think they don't have any other choice. It just got to be one day, USA versus international. Let it ride. Make it get some nice ass World Cup shit, some nice ass trophy or something, and make it that. I think that's all you can do, really. That's all you're left to do.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man, and it's not a shot. I'm not hating. I'm not none of that.
Here comes some LeBron shit.
We all said it. He sets the standard, right?
Yeah.
He sets the standard. The standard ain't gonna change until he retires.
So you say you need to go retire?
I didn't say that. I said it ain't gonna change until you do. And whoever the stars that are still in the league has to change that narrative and actually go out and play. Because okay, another fallout from there. LeBron, his ass knew that he wasn't gonna play, and you wait till the day of. So somebody lost the slot. Same way with Anthony Edwards. Somebody lost the slot. You knew you wasn't gonna play. So it wasn't just LBJ.
Anthony Edwards at least warmed up though. Like he tried. He at least shot around.
He was out there with his hat. He was out there with his hat like this. He wasn't playing. He knew he wasn't playing. So he get that same smoke as LeBron. So until that narrative changes, man, the All-Star game ain't gonna go back to being competitive. It is what it is.
Yeah, but also with that being said, you have to give a player some incentive. Like give them a reason. Hey, go out there and rep your country. Or whatever. Like, okay, LeBron should have just said, I'm not doing that stupid tournament shit. Like, no, I'm out. My ankle hurt. Whatever was going on with him. Right? Because then he turned around and played back-to-back days and hit 40 and 27. So we know he was okay. Them little 2-3 days of rest didn't all of a sudden make him 100%. Right? So exactly. But I mean, what's the incentive? Like I said, you know, you want him to go out there and play against the rookies. You want this. I mean, he's a 40-year-old. He looks a little re-energized. He looks a little re-energized.
Lefty. There's no way that those rookies should have been there on that day because they have not earned the right to be on All-Star, game day. You get that little Friday night crap. You get that. Yeah. And that was a bone thrown in them years ago. But the incentive has always been the fans. It ain't never been about the money or nothing like that. Well, early years when they weren't making that much money. Yes. But I'm going to tell you, the fans, you got to get the fans, a show.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? But I don't think the players back there needed the incentive. It was just a competitive nature, and they were just talking about it like those All-Star games. Remember, they always started out, they was bullshitting around first half. Yeah. Everybody was kind of bullshitting and playing around. And then around that fourth quarter, when it was getting down to like about that 5-minute mark, that's when they picked it up. Like somebody stepped up, like, no, we about to win this motherfucker. Whether it was Kobe, Mike, whoever, you know, they stepped it up. And I think with that, and that's what really made it. It wasn't like all the All-Star games been bullshit for the most all. Like 1 through 3 quarters was just bullshit. They playing around, throwing alley-oops, throwing off the backboard. It's just a show. And then they decide to turn it on. Then, like you said, it take that one person, I'm finna lock you down. Now the other person like, no, I'm going at you. Now that spreads, right? Like a virus. Now we want to win. Let's get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that go back to AAU. That go back to everything, man. Like that competitiveness, and they make so much money now, man. Like you can't. The incentive can't be money. It can't be money, right?
To me, it got to come from the players. Cause the one year that Kobe said, "LeBron, I'm gonna lock you up," LeBron was like, I thought he was playing around. No, LeBron was like, damn, he really playing against me.
Mm-hmm.
That right there set the stage for that game. Like, damn, they out here trying to hoop.
Or the only other thing,
like, Brian, you better play.
Yeah. Now the only other thing is do what baseball did. Winner of the All-Star game, get home field advantage in the World Series. So the winner, whatever conference wins, get home court advantage in that in the NBA Finals. That's an incentive right there, especially if you one of those teams that's vying for that spot. So that'll definitely make it competitive. I know the NBA's been trying to avoid that, but it's either that or the international thing, man. I don't see nothing else that's gonna bring it back to life. I just don't. What up,
Patrick? Hey man, hello man. You know, I'm in the midst of traveling to home front. So my take on that is, bro, like you said, these guys make too much, so the incentives ain't nothing for them, which I understand. The only way to get it back to it is going to take the players and their competition level and their level of competitiveness to get it back to where it was. Like you said, that back in the day, they didn't need those incentives. They didn't care, but that fiery spirit was in them where, like, man, we finna go out here and we finna show these boys. We the ones, you know what I'm saying? The East versus West, that's how they would do it. Now, it's like everybody friends. Everybody cool with each other.
Yeah.
Off the court, everybody buddy. We party with each other. Then it's no competitiveness there anymore. And it's like, that's what it is to me, bro. It just don't matter no more. It ain't nothing but a regular pickup game. We was watching the game last night. Me and Damani, we both looked at each other. Damani's like, bro, this is like an AAU team. It's like they just up and down. Damani say, that's why they'll never go nowhere. Because they don't play no defense. Yeah. It was like AAU. And I told him, I say, that's on the coaches because they just let the boys go out there and run. So basketball ain't like it used to be, man. It'll probably never get back to that.
Hey, Face. Yeah, that's when we found out in the All-Star game that McGrady and Kobe didn't like each other.
Exactly.
The refs was like, hey, watch them. They really don't like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They went at each other hard. You know, All-Star game regardless of what it was.
Right, because that goes all the way back to what was it? What was the basketball programs in the summer? Was that Nike?
Nike and ABC?
ABC. Pro-am games and stuff?
ABC. The ABC, it was the ABC, and Tracy and McGrady and Kobe didn't like each other because they was vying for the best. They didn't like each other back then, and it carried over into the league. That's what it is, man. Competition.
Hey, we was watching the game, and I told Damani, I said, you know what? I realize why these dudes shoot so many threes now. Because nobody has a down low power game anymore. They went to the cup for a free throw, and they just threw the ball up and fell on the ground. I mean, for a layup, threw the ball up, fell on. I said these dudes don't have the fundamentals no more to create and go to the cup. They just jacking threes.
Well, Face, they go a little deeper than that. They go a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
The best players got a go-to move that usually is kind of unstoppable. They get that off anytime. Dirk, Jordan, Olajuwon, everybody had a go-to move. These players now, they don't have a go-to move. They just, the Euro step is they move. And if they can't get that off going to the basket, they lost.
Well, that's like LeBron, bro. If he just go to the, can't nobody stop that boy when he going to the rim, bro.
Yeah.
But he'll shit up there and he'll jack up a three in a minute.
But I think what we're seeing is lack of IQ. The IQ, basketball IQ has dropped because cats are more athletic and they depend more on their athleticism over that actual basketball IQ. It ain't too many cats in the league right now except the old heads. Like what young boy in there right now that you saying, man, his basketball IQ is through the roof. Like, you can't think of one. And just watching that Houston, Minnesota game was like, oh yeah, my God, it was sloppy. And Houston was the number 2-3 seed in the West.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like this, like I can't see them getting out the first round the way they play.
No.
But you got a bunch of athletes. Everybody can jump out the gym. Everybody's fast. Everybody can shoot a three. So, but it's nobody's thinking it through. I ain't even see screen and rolls.
The best basketball IQ today is an international player, and that's the Joker. Because the Joker can't jump over a penny.
Right.
But he killing you with triple doubles.
Yeah, but I mean, as much as you hate to give him credit, him and LeBron, because LeBron's basketball IQ is also what's keeping him doing what he's doing at 40. Because he has his athletic spurts. Like he'll have a spurt, like when he dunked on Mark Williams the other night. He can do that in spurts, but he can't do that for 40 minutes. So a lot of he is playing a lot off IQ.
Right.
And I think Luka's probably another one. Whenever he get over his heartbreak, whenever he stop acting like the little girl that got stood up at prom and get his shit together.
Wow.
But his IQ is pretty high too. I think those three probably the top.
So he didn't get a Khashoggi?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DY gonna talk about that at some point, so I ain't gonna jump the gun.
No, you see him rubbing his chin like this. When he's rubbing his chin, he got something he want to say.
No, it's not even that necessarily. I think, and I didn't have it as a topic, but it does point to the fact that NBA players today are built a little bit different from a mental perspective. You kind of have these guys that have been catered to, their entire career. I listened to somebody on the radio yesterday mention like Kevin Durant is like the last of the Mohicans. He like one of those NBA players that came up from nothing, kind of had it tough growing up. Played basketball everywhere. People told him he wasn't big enough, he wasn't strong enough. He was
happy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They never lied about that part.
Man. Come on, man.
Well,
where's the lie?
But if you look at today's NBA players, these cats are groomed at a very young age to just basically display their talent. But the mental aspect of the game, I think, has fallen by the wayside. That's why you get guys who are emotional from getting traded. So what? You got traded to a completely better city. You went from Dallas, and Dallas is nice, to LA, to Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
But
I want to jump in.
Okay, wait, one second. Can you jump in? But DY, it's the human factor to that too, right? And this didn't happen in the off season to where you got a couple of months to adjust. This happened mid-season, that's what really makes this remarkable. This happened mid-season. I just took you to a finals. I'm pretty much a god in my city. Everybody just like I'm worshipped. I'm the dude and out of nowhere, without asking, you trade me. It's like a female that been in a relationship with a cat she in love with all this time, and one day he just called her like, it's over. I'm done with you. Move on. And what, she's supposed to just bounce back? It's gonna take her a minute. But unfortunately for Luka, it's happening during the season. You can see he's still moping. That dude is heart broke. His heart is broke. He is not over it. AD kind of didn't care. AD was like, whatever, let's get it, until he, pulled his vagina. But
AD had been traded before.
Yeah, but AD been traded. But so it really didn't bother him. But you can see in his face, his smile is even fake. That dude is hurt, man. He is fucking hurt. If this would happen in the offseason, he would have had like a month or two to kind of get it together, let it sink in. Then he could have came into the season. Still ain't right, man.
I think
Luka was Luka, and you could tell this shit real. Luka was blindsided. Like, if I buy a $20 million home,
right, a week before,
man, I'm Dallas for life. I'm gonna sign this extension in the offseason. I'm good.
Mark Cuban and told you he loved you.
Yeah, I got my issues. I'm a diva, but I got it like that in Dallas, right? I got it like that, right? So I'm cool. When you trade me and don't holler at my agent
mid-season,
you don't holler at my agent. We have no idea about this. New ownership, yeah, I get it, but I'm the dude. They ain't gonna trade me. Hey, run that $20 million home. Run that.
When it comes to Luka,
right?
When it comes
to
Luka, look, it's even to the point where Dirk went to his first Lakers game.
Dirk showed up.
And
by the way, they never did Dirk like that. By the way, they never did Dirk like that. That's number one. But listen what we said,
Cuban was there. Cuban was there, Kev.
They never did Dirk like that. Yeah, Cuban. But listen what Cuban tried to block it, but it was so far in the works, Cuban couldn't do nothing about it. Cuban found out last minute. He tried to block it.
He can't block nothing.
But he tried to. Cuban went in and tried to block it. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, he
it was too far in the works. But just listen. I'm the dude. I'm the Michael Jordan of Dallas. Right? I'm the dude. Man, run that $20 million career. You get the acre, you got run that. I'm gonna be here. I ain't going nowhere. Right? So imagine you blindsided. Hey dog, I'm your agent. Hey dog, you don't believe this? I just got a call, man. You going to LA? Huh?
Yeah.
So he's blindsided. His problem in LA is a little bit of blindsided, and it's a little bit of he don't know how to play off the ball. He's never played off the ball a day in his life.
I was going to say that. You sent him to play with LeBron on top of that.
Right. Like, LeBron got to get off the ball, dog. Yeah, what he said he was going to do. We'll get into that. But LeBron says he's going to get off the ball. He's not. You got to do that,
bro.
Yeah,
but he got to do it.
Look out there looking like a heartbroken teenage girl. That's right.
Right. And Luka, if you notice, Luka can't run. He's trotting up the court. He can't fully run like an athlete. He's barely making it across half court. Then when he get there, he goes sit in the corner, goes sit in the wing, and he's watching LeBron. LeBron got to get off the ball. He said he's going to get off the ball.
That too.
I'm just telling you, we can get into that.
Everything that you guys says, I totally agree with, but it's the third aspect in there. Luka got his team to the finals. Luka was drafted out of Dallas. He wanted
less than 12 months ago.
He wanted to win in Dallas, and you took that away from that man. That's just like any player that done worked hard to build that team up. They get to the finals, they lose, they want to come back. That's just like if they would have traded Tatum after they lost to Golden State. If they'd have got rid of him, he'd have been so pissed off because he was right there. I want to take you back. We can do this. And then you took it from me.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, Dallas at the Lakers Tuesday night. I want to see how Luka respond to that. But listen to what you're saying, Ben. You're saying blindsided. Tatum gets traded, right?
Yeah.
He'll say, "Hold on, man. I just want to chill. I'm the dude, right? I'm traded." So imagine being blindsided.
But
Kevin Durant has been in the league long enough. Here's how I compare it. Here's how I compare it, Demond. Kevin Durant been in the league long enough. You know how the business works, right? KD is a vet. He's 35, 36, whatever. He's a vet. He know how the business works. So KD say, "Hey man, I ain't asked to get out of Phoenix. Y'all get me in trade rumors? Okay, cool. Wait till this summer I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Right? KD took it like okay, I get it. I'm a commodity, right? But these young cats that's thinking they there for life. Like Luka probably thought, man, I'm gonna run that $20 million crib. Run that.
You can't blame it on being young because no old superstars have ever been traded mid-season. Like what superstar, what upper echelon player, top 5 player in the league has been traded mid-season?
James Harden, Kevin Durant.
Durant asked out. Durant asked to be moved.
Well, Harden quit on the team. Harden had to be traded.
These guys asked to be moved.
Harden quit on the team. He had to be traded.
Right, I'm saying these guys asked to be moved, which means they mentally checked out from their situation. Luka was all in Dallas. Nobody's ever done that.
I think the only thing in this situation, and I'll end it with this, we'll go ahead and move on after this, is Luka got the rug pulled up from up under him. And I understand the whole emotional aspect of it. You know, you the man in your home, in your town, team that drafted you and everything. You had a lot vested in that. But at the end of the day, I hope he understands, and I hope other NBA players recognize that this is a business, and at any given time, things can happen. So a lot more to come from that.
Not your franchise player, bro.
A lot more to come from that, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Well, it'll be interesting to see how Tuesday pans out. But we're going to go ahead and move forward. Got a little motivational clip. Sean, go ahead and cue it up for our next topic.
Again. Every time you miss a shot, your game deflates. We don't care about your missed shots. Defense. You guys keep blowing opportunity upon opportunity upon opportunity. You're like children with bad things happening. Instead of digging in and be tougher, you wilt. Where is your toughness? Where have you guys been raised that you're so weak mentally that you just give up when something doesn't go right for you? Don't you know what adversity is all about? That's the game of life, not the game of basketball. You don't get down when things go wrong. You dig in and get tougher. Your whole life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal with it. Dig in.
Wise words being spoken by my man Rick Pitino as we move into NCAA. March Madness is coming up. Conference players starting to heat up here.
I'm ready to jump into this one, DY.
That man gonna lose his whole prostate trying to mess with them young boys. Rick Pitino better retire.
I don't have no problem with it.
This right here goes right with what we were just talking about. The AAU circuit has killed fucking basketball, and these kids always want to play off talent. Rick Pitino is a bona fide coach. Yeah, he gets star players and all of that, but he a coach, and he coaching to win. He got plays and stuff like that to be ran. Ain't none of this.
It's also the reason, though, that the Krzyzewskis, the Sabins, they walked away. They retired.
They walked away because of NIL. They didn't walk away because of coaches. They walked away because of NIL, and they can't control it.
They're not them kind of coaches.
That ain't all, kid. It ain't all. These coaches were getting upset at how players came in, and it seemed like they had to start at step one with some of these players and coach them because they were never coached as they came up. They were always the more talented, or they was on this AAU circuit or 707. 707 also killed football. It was killing football too, because you going, ain't nobody hitting nobody. You just going out there throwing the ball. You know, same as AAU. You just going out there being flashy, stacking your team up with different players and all of that. That has killed fundamental sports.
But it's not.
I don't have a problem with what the man said. The man is motivating his team. The problem with today's players are they're entitled. They can't be coached. They think because they're there, they're supposed to get everything that we, our generation, worked for. Like if we was all competing, being Damani DY, if we was all competing, you know what we do every day? We'd be cool. Right? We'd be cool. We hang out at the practice. We can hang out we can go to the club. We can do whatever we want to do. Get on bitches. Right? Oh, excuse my language. Get on women, right?
Yeah,
After practice, at night. But you know what we do in practice? We competing against each other. Because you're not gonna one-up me in practice. You're not gonna one-up me for my starting spot. You're not gonna one-up me against competing to be on the team. You're not gonna do that. We cool. But once we lace it up and we go against each other in drills, we're gonna compete, man.
I think
we're gonna bring the best out of each other.
I believe it's beyond NIL though. Kev, I believe it's beyond NIL. The transfer portal is hurting shit too. Because if I don't like what you say to me or you don't whatever, I'll just leave and go to another school and play next year. But let's
that's
be real
a
about
way
it.
out. That's a punk way out.
But let's all be totally honest.
That's a punk way out.
We got to take some responsibility too, because we wanted the players to get paid. We want the players to have the right to do whatever they want to do and move how they want to move. And now that they got it, we see what's happening. It's hurting the game, and now we're trying to reel it back in.
No. I'm not gonna let you do that. No.
Whatever they want to do.
I'm not gonna let you do that.
Let them do all this, and now the mentality's different. What you expect from an 18-year-old?
Damani, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that.
And I can transfer out if I don't like what you say to me. You yelling.
I'm not gonna let you do that. You're trying to use NIL as an excuse.
No,
I'm not gonna let you do that.
What we asked for this. We wanted.
No,
this.
we asked for. Nope. I'm not gonna let you do that, dog. Here's why I'm not gonna let you do that. We asked for NIL to be compensated for the money that the colleges are making off you. Excuse me. We asked for NIL. Name, image, and likeness, number one. It ain't NIL no more. You're just paying players and you're using their NIL. Right. That's neither here nor there. What we asked for was the players to be compensated of what the universities is being making off them.
Okay.
That's what we asked for. That's what we asked for. Don't use that as an excuse to not man up and not let another player take your spot. Don't use that as an excuse.
It's not an excuse, Kev. It's the same thing with the transfer portal. What's the difference?
In the off season, when you in college, hold on, dog. When you're in the off season and you in college, and it's the off season, y'all playing pickup ball in the gym. Everybody know y'all hoop. Then there's players coming through being recruited by the athletic director and the coach. He going coach straight to the coach office. Somebody you look like play your position. Right? Don't use that NIL as an excuse for not to work on your game so he don't take your spot. Don't do that. It's your responsibility to work on your game to keep your spot.
Kev, guess what?
Don't use NIL for that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Kev, guess what?
Don't do that, dog. You use the NIL as an excuse. Don't do that.
Listen. If I'm a junior and you're a freshman coming in, and you come in and you take my spot, I'm a transfer and go to another school.
Why?
Start over there.
Why?
Because I can. I can do it.
You know why don't you work on your game and take the challenge of getting this freshman out your spot? Don't use NIL to do that. Don't use the transfer portal to do that. Why are you doing that?
I'm gonna jump in and tell you
why. Why are you doing that? Why don't you take the challenge to do? Man, you ain't taking my spot, dude. I'm here. I'm a junior. I'm about to be a senior. Why don't you take Why don't you take the challenge?
Hold on, Kev.
All right, Kev.
We finna tell you. We finna tell you why they don't take the challenge. I'm gonna tell you why they don't take the challenge. They don't take the challenge because they feel entitled to the NIL money. That's what a lot of that is coming from.
Everybody don't get NIL, Pat. Everybody on the team don't get NIL. Do y'all know that?
I know that, but the ones who are getting that NIL money, that's why they're not. That's why they're not stepping up and taking on what you're saying, developing their craft, because they already got some NIL money. Now they feel entitled to it. Now they feel like it's gonna be there. So there got to be some kind of stipulation where you making his NIL money. It's almost like a contract, bro. If dude don't earn his contract in the NBA, what happens? He don't get paid the next time, right? You not gonna give him no another contract, or you gonna cut him.
If you good enough to get NIL money, should nobody take your spot?
Exactly. It shouldn't.
Well, hold on, Kev. I got to call.
If you good enough to get NIL money, which everybody on the team don't get, if you good enough to get that, should nobody take your spot?
Well,
take your spot. You good enough to get NIL.
Somebody's playing better.
It's your mouthpiece and your agent, Kev. Remember that. Remember that. Everybody ain't got an agent or somebody out there behind the scenes working your NILs. Now, my problem is, if you good enough to get NIL money, should nobody take your spot? Kev, hold on.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go ahead. My problem with the analogy that Lefty gave you, if a freshman comes in and you a senior, I don't have time. I'm trying to go to the next level, so I don't have time. I need to be on that floor. So guess what? I am going to transfer because this kid, fuck it, he's better than me.
Wow.
Or just as good as me, and they're going with the younger kid. So I don't have time. I got to go and play where I got to play at. So, yeah, transferring, that ain't nothing wrong with that if you were a senior. Now,
there is something wrong with that.
If you a freshman,
you should never let a freshman come in and take your motherfucking spot, man. You ain't on the floor at all.
Well, what's
come on, man.
If the freshman was clearly better than you,
you didn't take nobody's spot.
Better than you, how can you stop him from taking your spot, bro?
When I came in, I took spots.
Well,
yeah,
but I was way better than that person.
Y'all still had Cub Scouts playing for y'all, so that's how you was able to take a spot.
Damn. But
you also, I thought we were cool.
But then you also were penalized for transferring, right? You have to sit out a year.
Yes, back then, yes.
Now, there's no penalty. I could just, you know what? I don't like what's going on here. They brought this highly touted freshman in, promised him a starting job, and I'm out. I'm not.
All right. What if you go to the next spot and they bring another freshman in? You gonna transfer again?
Then guess what? I can transfer again.
Right.
How many cats have played? How many cats have played for 3 or 4 schools?
So you running around transferring because you're not good at the places that you going. You're not good enough to take nobody's spot. What are you?
Exactly.
What are you? What are you?
You are today's athlete.
You the perfect fit.
Today's athlete.
What are you?
You're today's athlete.
Fuck out of here, man. You should be you should be competitive enough to where wherever you go, ain't nobody taking my spot. And if you take it for a minute, I'm gonna get it back. That's what you should be do enough to do. You're gonna run around and transfer for 15 years because everybody comes in is better than you. So everybody that comes in is better than you.
Nobody's disagreeing with you, Cam. I'm just saying.
That's a good mindset.
Fuck out of here, man. In our day, nobody had that mentality, bro. These entitled ass kids today have that mentality. That's why they run it. They do it in high school.
And what's gonna stop them from being entitled? What's gonna stop them?
I give you them. I give you them.
If I don't like it, I give you them.
I give you them.
Work for it.
There was a dude that graduated from HF last year that played on the state championship. That played in 4 different high schools in 4 years.
And gonna probably play for.
That's entitlement. Now he was one of the best players on the team. But what he did was, and I don't know how the transfer like that in 4 years. That's beyond me. That's above my pay grade. That man played for 4 different high schools in 4 years.
Because you have
what are you searching for?
It's no penalty. It's no penalty for moving.
But it's bullshit.
Look,
It's bullshit.
when I came from Simeon to St. Martin, I had to sit out. Remember, Ben had to sit out my.
But you transferred once. The money is a different situation. And that was back in the day.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
You talking, but listen to what you're saying.
Listen.
You're talking 89, 90, 91.
Right, Kev, but
We're
listen,
talking today where a dude literally played for 4 different high schools in 4 years. That's bullshit. That got to do with basketball. That ain't got nothing to do with education.
Okay, Kev,
that got to do with basketball.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. There was a penalty when I came from public school to Catholic school. I had to sit out the first half of my junior year. I couldn't play.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That was the rules.
Look at the times you did it though.
Okay, let me finish. And even then, things happened at St. Martin that I didn't like. I wanted to leave, but guess what? I would have been penalized again. So I had to stay. I had to stay and deal with it. Now, you don't have that. I could leave if I don't like you. I don't like what you say. Me and Mandy didn't get along. Me and Mandy didn't get along at all.
I took him under my wing.
I could have left.
Him a better player.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all that. I'm just saying.
I made him a better player.
I'm just saying, but it was things that happened that made me want to leave. I wanted to bounce, but I would have been penalized again. So I had to stay. I had to stay and tough it out. You don't have that now. I can go from school to school to school whenever I want with no penalty, with not sitting out, with nothing. So it's the fact that the option, sometimes you have to take away the option. Sometimes you have to take away the options.
That's the entitlement I'm talking about, though. That's the entitlement.
But you have to control it. It's as in the racist way how the Houston Texans owner said, you letting the inmates run the asylum. But and when the inmates run the asylum, this is what you get.
And House made a comment. He said, Kevin, you have to realize you're talking about the old days where you couldn't do that. These kids have the option to do that, so they're going to explore those options. When they got that option, you can't take the option away from them. Now you gave it to them.
But okay, I'll respond to that. Yes, you have the option, but what are you searching for? The perfect situation?
Yep.
When you play sports, or look, man, when you play sports,
you answered your own question.
Or you go through life, you don't have the perfect situation. So these kids are transferred. There's a guy that played for Kansas right now that ain't shit. His last name is Storr. Do you realize that dude played for Penn State, Wisconsin, and now Kansas?
First of all, you're bogus for putting his name out there like that.
Because he ain't shit. He's ruining my team.
You bogus for putting his name out there like that.
Yeah, well, my bad.
I hope his family members is watching.
But what I'm saying is that man played for 3 different teams in college. He went to 3 high schools in high school. What you searching for, bro?
He can go to high school.
What are you? I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use him as an example because I'm gonna ask y'all. What are you searching for?
How you go
to? No, let me ask you. How do you go to 3 different schools in high school, 3 different schools in Kansas? You still in Kansas.
Because you got the option to.
You old enough to be an AT&T, but you still in college.
All right, Kevo. That's enough. We'll come back to that at another time, man. We wanted to jump in to some NCAA basketball. Bracketology is getting ready to come out. Right now, you got about 12 teams in the SEC slated to make the tournament, 10 in the Big Ten, and then the Big 12 with about 8 teams. One of the most surprising things I've seen, at least right now, no Missouri Valley Conference teams are in the top 25. You got Drake sitting at 24-3, Bradley at 21-7. Is the time of the mid majors falling by the wayside? You remember the last few years, mid majors kept teams in the tournament. Mid majors last couple of years had 4 to 5 teams in the tournament, and right now, and even in the top 25. But right now, you're not seeing that. You're seeing these mega conferences kind of running over everything. Does that surprise you not to have some of these mid-major teams ranked better?
No. You know why, DY? Because it's the round of 64. If you want to put 68 because of those play-in games. But when it comes to the tournament, this is where the mid-majors eat. They eat in the tournament. Once they make it there, they knocking off this big program, that big program. And now, next thing you know, everybody trying to run to one of these little mid-majors, and then they good for about 3 to 4 years, and then those kids leave. It's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. But the tournament is where the mid-majors eat. They got 4 years. They got players that have been together for 4 years. They play well together. They coach well, and they be giving these big programs the business.
Whoever won the conference is going to get in, and whoever doesn't is still going to get in. The Northern Iowas, the Drakes, they all get in. And like Ben say, you scared to see them in the tournament. So their conference doesn't get the notoriety that the Big Ten, the SEC, they don't get that. So yes, you can have those records, and yes, you can be underrated, but they'll get in. They get in, trust. You're going to get 2 of them in.
But are we basing it strictly off the top 25? Because you get 64, 65 teams. So, right. I mean, yeah, they don't get the rankings throughout the season, and you might not hear about them throughout the year, but they're going to get in. The teams that are deserving to get in,
they're going to get in.
Are going to get in. I think in basketball, the rankings aren't as relevant as like in football. You know what I'm saying? When you go when those polls aren't as relevant. Right. Because you're getting in. Now it could affect your seeding, but if you're a good team, it don't matter where you seeded, right? Some of these mid-majors, most of these mid-majors start at 12 and under. Every year we get a 12 and upsets of 5, right?
Right.
Exactly.
St. Mary's, they always stay in.
Yeah, so I think it's I get what DY is asking, but I don't think it matters as much. Okay, I'm ranked 24, 25. Hey, as long as I get in the damn tournament, let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as I get in the tournament, then like being said, we're gonna show our ass in this tournament. And that's when the world gonna start recognizing.
That's every year.
We're gonna get the scouts, and yeah, so that they
how do y'all think Steph Curry got noticed at Davidson?
At Davidson.
Yeah,
came in and gave that work. What was Valparaiso? Remember Valparaiso that year?
Yep.
Drew, right?
Dude's son.
Bryce Drew. That year? Was it
Bryce Drew?
Bryce Drew.
Bryce Drew and his father was the coach. So
right here in Chicago, we traded LaMarcus Aldridge for Tyrese Thomas.
Because he had a good tournament.
He had a good time.
Right. Look at Loyola. We can name teams throughout history that shocked the world in the tournament, and guess what? Like I said, they became a good team for the next 3 years. Shaka Smart. What was it?
That's what I'm talking about. Shaka Smart.
VCU. VCU came in and smashed people. Baylor was not a big time program when it came to basketball, but guess what? They got into the tournament and they started whooping ass.
The world.
I mean, you even this year, you got teams like I'm watching St. John's now. Nobody's talking about how good St. John's is. St. John's gonna be a problem. In that tournament.
St. John's, they probably gonna go east, and depending on who they run into, St. John's
is a problem though.
But back in the day, St. John's used to be a problem back in the day, and then they fell off.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the program that shock everybody every year is Michigan State. Michigan State be having a subpar season, but when they get into the tournament, they do work.
Hey, it ain't even a shock.
Michigan State has a subpar season because they play better teams. Tom Izzo starts with the Maui, and he plays everybody.
Dude,
he gonna duck.
They go hard.
Then tournament time, they ready.
They ready because he take the games early and get his team battle tested for the tournament.
And by the time they get to the tournament, they be ready.
Like who knew anything about Dwayne Wade and Marquette? I mean, I can go on because I watch NCAA like crazy. So Marquette came in and what they do? Shocked the world. And everybody knew Wade after that.
D Wade is the ultimate mid-major story. Him and Steph are the ultimate mid-major stories. Like you didn't hear about these cats. You know what I mean? Until those tournaments.
Syracuse fell off. But what they do, they ran the tables once they got in with a young Melo.
Cuse didn't fall off, and Melo wasn't all the way off yet.
Cuse was always a big school.
Cuse was still one of the bigger schools when Melo.
They always been a big school. But as far as record and all of that, they wasn't nothing. And then they made the tournament.
But what Marquette did, Loyola Marymount, like schools like that went on a big run that acquired national attention, that's different than Syracuse, who was in the Big East. Like that's different.
They stayed on TV.
Yeah, it's always on TV. That's different.
That was because of Bohan, Coach Bohan, baby. He kept them.
But you ain't give a damn about Loyola Marymount.
His name is Bohan, man.
Bohan, whatever. Hey,
it's Bohan, man. Watch your mouth.
With the glass ceiling.
Be
With the glass ceiling. They had the glass ceiling. That was one of the best arenas to ever play in.
That's facts. Now that's facts.
All right. I mean, I think those are all great points. I think the biggest, like I said, one of the biggest takeaways I think was the fact that in previous years, you've had teams ranked in the top 25 heading into the tournament, even prior to their conference tournaments. But nevertheless, it's more so about the respect that these teams will garner going in to the NCAA tournament. Now, if you look at the top of the standings, you look at these teams, we got some key matchups this weekend. You got number 6 Tennessee versus number 7 Texas A&M, number 8 Iowa State versus number 5 Houston, and then the big game tonight, number 17 Kentucky going against number 4 Alabama after their loss to Auburn last week. So a lot of
Alabama rebounds.
I was gonna say, you know, how do you think these teams fare going into these weekend games?
So
Alabama rebounds at the crib.
Which game? Because I'm watching
Tennessee game now.
Yeah, Tennessee is on now. Which game, DY, in particular? Just
any one
I
of
think
the
Alabama rebounds at the crib tonight.
Yeah, any one of the games you can pick and choose from.
Well, see, for me, Bama and Houston, remember I said they on a 3-year wave right now. Because remember, they wasn't nothing 3 years ago, and they went into the tournament, made a nice run, so players start going there.
And Brandon Miller.
So they in that 3 year, they in that 3 years right now. And when those kids start to graduate, will they fall off? Don't know. But they on that 3-year wave right now. So Houston and Bama, I say they rebound tonight, but Iowa State, they look tough, man. They look tough.
Hey,
they play both sides of the floor.
Hey, I hate to interrupt, but if y'all watching ESPN, Jay Will had it.
That hat is garbage.
That hat ain't
First of all, he looked like he in Miami and should have a cigar.
I just had to
you said it, look, they put the close up on the hat like you was running the show.
I was looking at that too. I wasn't saying
he ain't Shaq.
That hat is trash.
That hat ain't shit, man.
Hey, then he gonna sit there like this with the hat on his head.
Hey, man. First of all, you can't watch Shaq hat game last week at All-Star Weekend and come out
with something like that. You can't
come out like that.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I think y'all missing the big picture.
Will Wheat, holler at Jay Will. He needs you, baby.
I think y'all missing the big picture. All the games y'all named, you mentioned the SEC team.
Right.
The SEC is dominating college basketball this year. They got all the ranked teams.
And I mean, what Kev, me and you talked about, we said it's 7 or 8 teams that can win this thing this year, man. Like it's no clear cut.
It ain't no clear cut. Yes.
It ain't no clear cut. It's
you won't be shocked.
That can do this.
Yeah.
You still can't count out. And you still can't count out the old heads, the Kansas teams like that.
You know why?
They're getting a tournament.
Kansas ain't doing it this year. I'm a Kansas fan. They're not doing it this year.
You can't pick out a clear winner. You know why? Because of NIL. It done got a lot of parity around college basketball where kids are going somewhere where they getting paid. And it just ain't the big schools anymore. Look at our very own North Carolina.
Yeah, but it has to click on the court, man.
They can't get no players.
But here's the thing. You can't point out NIL and say that team is winning because of NIL.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Kev.
He didn't say that.
Like, you can't do that.
He didn't say that.
It's making it fair across the board because you don't have to go to the big schools to get your shine on no more. You can go
I agree
to
with
one
that.
of these mid majors. You can go anywhere now and play ball and get paid.
I agree with
So
that.
that's a plus for NIL. Yes, it's a bunch of negatives, but that is one of the pluses where you got parity across NCAA basketball.
So is it? But what? So let me ask this. So what's the domino effect, right? There's been parity over the last couple of seasons in college ball, right? You've had some been pretty even. Like it's always been a couple of schools that could possibly win it. Well, it was it had that superstar, right? If some of the parity lack of superstars, and is because we see it when it gets to the NBA level, we haven't had that next great one come in yet. You know what I mean? Like we and I know we're gonna talk about women. Like we didn't have, it wasn't a Caitlin Clark, right? It's no Caitlin Clark, somebody like that who can come in and and then go to the next level and become a superstar and raise a team. I don't see anybody in none of these college teams as good as it's great. I love it, but I don't see the superstar. I don't see the mega star outside of Cooper Flag. And I don't.
Well, you see Juju in women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the men, there's no clear-cut superstar where you're gonna look like
outside of Cooper Flag, you're right. Outside of Cooper Flag, you're right.
You couldn't couldn't say who would be the 1 and 2 picks in this year's men's draft, can you?
Well, Cooper Flag is one.
Well, we already know that.
Cooper Flag and a couple of dudes out of Rutgers.
The boy from Rutgers, yeah.
But you don't see I agree. You don't see clear cut 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't see that.
I think they should stay. This is just me. I think they should stay one more year because Ace Bailey and Ron Harper's son should stay another year. Because I've watched their game. They are really talented, but they're not understanding the game. They just running and scoring. You shoot this time, I shoot this time, you shoot this time. They need to be coached a little bit more to be that number one superstar.
Man, when the iron is hot, you strike.
I get it.
They gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. And I'm gonna tell you the real shit. The Rutgers coach gonna tell them, "Hey man, I love y'all to stay. You're an enhancement to our program. So y'all gotta go. You gotta go. Yeah, if you top 5 in the NBA draft, you gotta go.
You go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, but the problem is,
you gotta go.
It makes a good point though of that. Now that comes to the NBA, and now the NBA game is getting,
and now watch this, the money. They got to be developed.
Yep.
But when you get in the league, we ain't got time to develop you, bro.
Exactly. That's why
we can do summer camp. We can do preseason. We can do all that. But when the game starts, we need you to go, bro. We ain't got time to develop you.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that the two of them should stay, Ace Bailey, he need to put on some size. He too small for the league. And then Ron Harper's son, he's been injury prone, bro. He's been in and out of the lineup. He got to get his body together to play an 82-game season. That's my thoughts on that.
Well, his daddy is in his ear on that. His daddy is hey, son, you might want to stay another year. Now, Ace Bailey got nothing to do with it. But I'm sure Ron Harper is like, hey, bro, this is a grown man league over here. You might want to stay another year.
Now,
yeah, but then it's always that possibility.
You don't think his daddy is telling that?
But like we always talk about, it's always that possibility. You stay extra year, you blow your knee out.
Yep.
Your Achilles.
Yeah, like you said, Kev.
Well, we don't know that. You can do that in the NBA. We don't know that. You can do that in the NBA. We don't know that.
You'd rather do it in the NBA than in college, right? You'd rather do it when
you know that's true, Kev. You know if these cats got the chance to go, they're not gonna take the chance of coming back next year. Something like that. They gone.
So if you his dad, you ain't LeBron, but you his dad, and you say, hey man, you need to stay another year, bro. You stay another year, develop your game, whatever. You need to stay one more year, and then you'll be ready.
So I got
You're not ready right now. I played in the league. You're not ready right now, bro.
I got a question for you, Kev.
You don't think Ron Harper tell his son that?
I didn't say that. Here go my question. Let me ask you a question. Yeah, I'm your dad, and I'm giving you this advice. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, whose decision is it?
It's his decision.
Oh, okay. Then I just want to know. I can give you all the
No,
advice.
but I'm speaking. I'm coming from a dad that played in the league.
Of course, he gonna tell.
I know what this league is. I'm not gonna ruin. I'm not gonna shun your career just so I can play with you, LeBron. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you some real shit because you got potential to play, to actually play. So I'm gonna tell you, hey man, you ain't ready yet.
Damn.
You stay another year. Develop this, develop that, whatever. You stay another year, then your draft gonna be higher next year when you come out.
Well, and then you also have to factor in too. You know, Ron Harper got money. He came from money. They're not hurting for.
Yeah, it ain't a rush.
Right. He's not trying to get his family out the hood and all those stories.
No, it ain't a rush. It ain't a rush.
Right. Ace Bailey is different. He's trying to get his family out the hood. But
Ace Bailey is gonna take it running. Ace Bailey coming out this year.
The game's on the docket for the women today. You got #1 Indiana, which is on the road with they three-headed monster. They playing #13 NC State. That's a hell of a game to watch.
Indiana #1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Then you got #17 West Virginia.
UCLA lost
versus #10 TCU. You got #25 Illini versus #4 USC, and they just knocked UCLA off the #1 slot.
The best team in the nation is UCLA. They lost to USC, but they're the best team in the nation. Let's not get it twisted.
Then you got #7 LSU.
I know y'all don't follow this, but I do.
#14 Kentucky. So the women's side, and I've been saying it for the last 2 years, is a little more excitement to watch.
Hey, you got UConn and Butler playing today too. That UConn #5.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man.
I'll tell you this. USC, they got everything going from them because they down there in California, and they called Juju Monica from Love and Basketball. She went on social media and said, I would love for Sanaa Lathan to show up at a game. And that #1 UCLA and them, she showed up to the game.
I just want to welcome y'all to women's basketball in the last 2 years because y'all just getting on the bandwagon, right?
Hey, Kev.
Y'all just coming in and y'all got hyped off Caitlin Clark and Angel Reed, and now y'all hyped up Juju. I've been a part of women's basketball for years.
Hey, man.
I just want to give y'all credit for coming on board now, and now y'all acknowledging that y'all watch women's basketball, and y'all don't even watch it until the tournament.
Thank you, Juwan.
Some of us watch it all year long, and we've been watching it for years.
Hey,
I just want to give y'all credit for probably hopping on the bandwagon. I'll give y'all credit.
He's been part of it. Thanks, Juwan, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, Lefty, I've been part of girls basketball since my backsliding dirtbag years. So, Kev, you can stop that.
Well, you was part of it for the wrong reasons. Let's start.
Right. Well, hey, it made me a fan in more ways than one.
Yeah, but y'all just coming on to it. Congratulations, man. Welcome aboard.
You're a married man.
Aboard.
So we're not going
to you might have a little bit more insight on it, but you can't say nobody ever watched it, bro. We was watching NCAA women's basketball.
No, y'all ain't give a damn about women's basketball until last year.
So none of us was watching Don Stanley and Rebecca Lobo and Lisa Leslie then when they was playing.
Right. Come on, man. Stop it.
Hey, man. Sean, mute this boy, man, because he talking stupid.
Nope. Y'all didn't give a damn about women's basketball until it came to fruition on the national stage last year. Now all of a sudden, y'all women's basketball. Y'all ain't never give a damn about it. I've been watching women's basketball, college basketball the whole night.
Come on, man.
Okay, Cal.
The opinions of KDL is not the opinions of the show. How about that?
I'm just trying to tell y'all didn't give a damn about women's basketball.
His opinion is sponsored by Mad Dog 2020. And Mickey.
Hey man, that was Capricorn season only.
And
Capricorn season only.
No, I don't know. Because it seemed like you celebrating Pisces season too. To me, seemed like you been.
I don't give a damn about Pisces.
I know you don't.
Hold on, man. My mom Pisces. Hold on now. Be cool. Be cool.
Right.
I'll take that back. I'll take that back.
Be cool. Be cool.
I don't give a damn about certain Pisces.
That boy is celebrate a new pack of socks. Moving on. We
you gonna take a shot and we moving on, huh, D-Y? That's what we doing.
With the shot, talking about don't nobody watch women basketball, man.
Y'all don't.
GFY.
Y'all don't even know about women's basketball. Y'all didn't even know UCLA was number one. Y'all didn't know that.
It's them tube socks that he hit on in that little 7th grade picture of his.
First of all, that was 1985, number one.
Hey, them 87th Street specials off the U.S.
That was 1985, number one. I'd love to see what y'all was wearing in 1985.
All right, we well into the second hour. We're gonna go ahead and move forward. As with always, we got our Bears segment. Let's talk about a couple. Talk about a couple Bears moves that's been made.
Hey, Sean, you're wrong as hell, man. You're wrong as hell, but that's cool. That was 1985. Wildcats for life, baby. Wildcats for life.
I'm bringing them back this summer, Ken. We bringing them back.
Wildcats for life, baby.
Hey, what's with his shoulders in there? He all tight.
Because I was in the front. I was in the front of the picture. That's wrong, man. That's wrong, dog. Okay.
Go ahead, D.Y.
All right. Three-pointed stories coming out of Bears this week. Number one, let's start off with the salary cap cuts. Bears freed up close to now about $80 million in cap space. Are the Chicago Bears prepping for some big moves going forward? Pat, what you think?
I think so, man. We talked about. I think we talked about this last week, man. We already said those two were going to get cut. We're just going to clear up about 90 million. I think they're prepping up to try to go after Myles Garrett, bro. A lot of speculation is they the front runners. He asked me, not you. He asked me, not Kevin.
Well, I want to ask DY to go off what we discussed last night.
What did we discuss last night?
That they're going after the tackle from KC.
Right.
And then they're going after the center from Atlanta. That's your free agent money. I know they got cap space, Pat. But that's your free agent money. You're gonna still draft offensive linemen and all that in the draft. But your free agent money is going after dude in KC, dude in Atlanta. That's your top two free agent money. You get that out the door. That's your free agent money.
So what? I want to add something to that, DY, because I think everybody's talking like Trey Smith and Drew Dalman are locks,
right?
To come to Chicago, but we got to think about. Nobody's talking about New England. New England got $100-something million, and they need O-line too, bad, and. So the Bears, the Commanders, and New England, they got their franchise quarterbacks on rookie deals, so they can splurge a little bit at these other positions. Nobody's talking about New England because they need a new 5 across the board. They need a whole new O-line, and they really like their quarterback. And you got what's the name? What's the head coach now?
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
You got Vrabel, who's a trenches guy. He's all about the trenches. So I think I'm hoping the Trey Smith, Drew Dalman thing happens, but I don't think it's a lock like everybody else does, unless they just choose to go to the Bears over New England. But New England.
So you think New England will over? So Damani, you think New England will outbid the Bears? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying they could. I mean, look, Trey
Smith think it's about outbidding. I think it's who got the better mouthpiece and what they selling.
What options?
It's about what you selling. What you selling will make a person come to you. The money is there, yes, but people want to win. So Cole's mouthpiece got to be on point.
But you can't use that with Trey Smith. Got 2 rings. right?
Right.
You already got
Right, he already won. Right.
And the NFL, as we know, stands for not for long. So when you got a chance to cash out,
you do it.
Cash out. Like, because this could be this may be usually your second contract is your only shot at that big one.
Your last contract.
Come in and decide to just overpay Trey Smith at but they saying 23 mil a year, but what if New England come in and say, all right, we'll give you 26, 27 mil? They can do it. They got the money. So that's what I mean by it.
But I think one question that you got to ask yourself, and you got to ask the same question of the Bears and probably any other team that's up there. Are you willing to overpay just for the sake of? There's a couple other key things that go into signing a free agent. Mm-hmm. One, you got to be a scheme fit. Two, the area you're going to. Some cats like being close to home. Like those are major deciding factors for cats who are free agents. So don't just think because we got the most money, it's a lock, or I'm gonna put the biggest check in front of you and convince you to come up in here and come play for our team. Now the Bears, I think, do have to be aggressive at the same time. And I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing some of these cap casualties. I also feel like there could stand to be a few more. I'm curious to know because word on the street is right now, Bears are looking to draft a running back to create a 1-2 punch, similar to what they had in Detroit.
Correct.
Does DeAndre Swift become a cap casualty at this point in time? Could you possibly see them moving on from him, similar to what they did in Detroit?
Why? You ain't for what? No. You ain't run the man. You ain't get the man the ball enough to cut him. So why would you do that? You ain't get a man. You ain't get that man the ball enough.
Because he's making $8 million a year now. He's making $8 million.
He's going to be part of the two-man monster that he's trying to create. That's hands down.
You don't cut Swift.
He can be your Gibbs.
Man, that's what they try. No. They're looking for somebody. They're looking to possibly.
If you cut Swift, that proves you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Well, you got. I mean, this draft, you got some pretty good running backs. Of course, the kid from Boise State, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. Mm-hmm. That's the one that's linked to the Bears. That boy's good. That young man from North Carolina is pretty good too. It's about 4 or 5 running backs. I don't think you have to panic and take them at 10, but you definitely gonna use one of those second round picks on one of those running backs. As far as I don't think Swift will be a cap casualty. I think it's you can keep him. That $8 million is not hurting you. I'm looking at Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates is like a $5 million free up if you get him off the books, which you should. They saying Kevin Byard because his age could be a cap. I think he only saved like $2 or $3 million. But I mean, I don't think they move on from Swift. I think you can keep him for another year.
I don't think so either. Swift ain't I don't think you move on to the point you cut him. Yeah. You ain't get him all. You ain't get a man the ball enough to say he ain't worth it. Like you had no offensive line for him to run behind. Clearly, he was the dude before Saquon got there in Philadelphia. That dude ran his ass off. In Detroit, he got hurt. Philly ran his ass off. Come to the Bears, he's a different player because you ain't got the line. So how the hell you gonna cut him? And you ain't do nothing for him.
So I think a better question is, well, it's a whole new regime. So, but I think a better question is, if you go big in free agency on the O-line, do you go in the draft looking at running back, defensive tackle, maybe another safety? Because you still got to worry about Brisker's concussion issues. Byard's older. They saying Tremont Edmonds may be, after this year may be gone. Do you look at another linebacker? Do you look at, of course, we know the DN, somebody opposite of Montez Sweat. I say
you grab a running back. You grab a running back, yes, no doubt, right? I wouldn't do it at the 10 pick, but you grab a running back somewhere in the draft, yes.
I'm saying it's O-line, because if you look at these mock drafts, which I hate mock drafts before free agency, right? Because all these mock drafts are just based off position need, and nobody's taking into account free agency, right? If we sign these guys, so they linking Kelvin Banks, to the Bears, Will Campbell if he falls to 10, catch like that. But if you taking Smith and Dahlman and what's the kid from Boise State name, Pat?
Gentry.
If Gentry's the top of your board at 10, why not take him?
No.
You know what I mean? If he's the highest on your board,
yeah,
You don't because you need offensive line help.
12th round.
You need offensive line help.
he ain't getting past Dallas.
No, he ain't getting past Dallas.
He ain't getting past Dallas.
But you need offensive line help. You don't.
But did you hear what Lefty said? You taking these cats in free agency on the O line. Now that frees you up to say, you know what? At 10, let's go ahead and grab this cat because best fit available would be Gentry.
I'm just curious.
You don't need to draft him at 10, bro.
I'm curious because
your 10 pick should not be a running back.
I agree.
I'm curious why he say that because they need a quarterback, and he keeps saying they're not getting a quarterback. They're not drafting one, but they won't get him in free agency.
Right, because they're not. The Giants are not sold. The Giants are not sold on these quarterbacks, bro. What is? Let me ask you this. Just because we need a quarterback, you don't draft a quarterback just because you need one.
Out of desperation.
They're not sold on them quarterbacks, bro. They're not. What's so hard to believe about that? They're not sold on Shedeur. They're not sold on Cam Ward. They're not sold. I don't even know the next damn quarterback. They're not sold on that. What is so hard to believe about that?
Well,
what's so hard to believe about that is because your GM and your coach are lame ducks this year. So you just gonna set them up for failure?
So you just gonna draft a rookie quarterback and rely on that to save your job?
I think
that's even more reason to gamble off a free agent.
It's key on who free agent. You got to go get the best free agent quarterback that's out there. If anything, you need to
either one of them gonna be better than Cam Ward and Shedeur.
Knocking at Sam Darnold's door. You need to be knocking at his door if they're willing to.
Sam Darnold is better than Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you are not knocking at his door and then you looking at somebody like Rod Taylor, you setting them up to get fired.
Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins going to be out there too.
You have to be
I
knocking
don't
at
want
his door.
Kirk Cousins. Hold on, I'm gonna say this. I don't want Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins is better than Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward.
Why would
you gotta look at it like this? Their jobs on the line, bro. They're not gonna put all their eggs in the basket of a rookie ass quarterback. They're not gonna do it. So
you don't.
That's why I've been telling y'all they going free agency. They're going free agency. Y'all think they got to draft a quarterback just because they're in position to draft a quarterback. They're not gonna do it. They've already showed you they're not gonna do it. Y'all got to draft a quarterback. Y'all got to draft. No, they're not gonna do it. Their jobs on the line. Their jobs on the line this year.
So what better way than to save your job and extend your contract?
What I'm saying, no, you're not listening. You got to go get the best free agent quarterback and not just go out there and just get a free agent quarterback.
Well, we don't know who all available, Ben. We won't know that until March. We don't know who all available. We can speculate right now, but we don't know who's all available.
Aaron Rodgers.
But I kept telling y'all they wasn't tripping on these quarterbacks. Y'all like, no, man, they got to draft a quarterback. They just got to do it. No, they're not. They're not going to pin their hopes on a rookie when both their jobs on the line.
Hold on.
They're going to do it.
Hold on, Kev. D.Y. had a question. What'd you say, D.Y.? What was you asking?
My thing is, number one, you cannot say that these two cats coming out ain't better than the current free agent class of quarterback. Second thing is,
I can't say that.
The New York Giants' greatest need, and what better way for the GM and the head coach to extend their careers, their jobs, than to draft a quarterback? I don't know how you go into this offseason with that pick and think, oh, I could go draft a safety at number 3, a cornerback at number 3, a running back at number 3. Now let's be real about this. You can say everything you want, you can feel the way that you feel about your team, but take the whole New York Giants out of that, put any other team in that situation, and tell me what you would do.
Well, think about it. Tennessee.
I'll tell you what they would do.
Tennessee,
You want me to answer
Tennessee
that?
may not take a quarterback. Tennessee number
I'll
one.
tell you that.
They may not take a QB. They not that sold on.
They're not sold on these quarterbacks, man.
Well, Tennessee got a lot more needs than just quarterback too, so they could easily possibly trade down if they can get a haul. So I mean, that's being said, but that's not very likely. And only teams that do that is the teams that do it for the number one pick when you got a sure shot like a Caleb Williams, like a Jaden Daniels, something like that at number one. So
but you don't have that at number 3.
You don't have that at the
So what I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying to all y'all. I know the Giants need a quarterback. The Giants know they need a quarterback. But at number 3, just because you have the number 3 pick, you don't take quarterbacks that's not going to change the equation just to do it. You don't have to do that.
That is how
you can go another route.
That's how you.
Are they going to trade back?
So I'm cool with that. Look, you know what? If they decide we're going to go free agency quarterback wise, we'll get a number 3 pick for somebody that actually wants a quarterback on sold on these quarterbacks, trade back. Yes, I will take picks because they need picks.
I'm glad Sean put this stat up because I was just getting ready to look it up. So I'm going to go through this real quick with the fellas. Sam Darnold, probably going to get franchised. Probably. Justin Fields, I'm sure they're probably going to re-sign him in Pittsburgh and let Russ go. Russell Wilson, Russell's probably going to go where he feel like his value is going to be worth the most and to give him the greatest opportunity to go win a chip. That ain't New York. Jameis Winston, we all know who Jameis is. Mariota, we all know who Mariota is. Flacco and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins at this point in his career is probably at best.
Kirk Cousins has to be traded though.
At best, a backup quarterback. No matter they're gonna cut him. They already said that. They already said
he's gonna be cut. He's got a $10 million bonus due March 17th, so he's most likely going to be cut right before then. So that might be what team. That's what a lot of teams are waiting for him to get cut. And then once that domino falls, that he's cut, then a whole bunch of stuff's going to happen. But he's most likely getting cut because they don't want to pay him his $10 million bonus that he has to.
Yeah.
Right.
So past Russell Wilson, and I'll put this out here for the entire group. Who in the hell would you sign to put on your team as the starting quarterback?
The Giants would take a whim. I can't give you the starting quarterback. The Giants would take a whim on one of those quarterbacks for 1 year before they draft Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward.
Or Jameis Winston?
So let's eliminate the backups, right? Jameis Winston's a backup, Marcus Mariota's a backup, Flacco's a backup at this point in his career. So you could say Darnold, Fields, Wilson, Cousins, right? Out of those 4, I kind of agree with Kev. I would take a run at a Fields or a Darnold or Cousins for a year and wait for another quarterback class over just reaching. I mean, these guys can hold you down. Like let's be totally honest, and no disrespect to the Giants, they're not winning it next year, right? They're not gonna come up and be the Commanders. It's not about to happen. We know that, right?
No disrespect is disrespect, but keep on.
No, but I mean because everybody takes shots.
They ain't going to the Super Bowl.
But I'm just saying they knocked that one away. I'll also go because everybody's talking this Matthew Stafford trade for the number 3 pick. If I'm Matthew Stafford, you try to trade me to the Giants, I'll retire. I would retire. I'm 37 years old. I'm not going to a rebuild situation. I just wouldn't do it. So out of this group, and I think somebody's going to vastly overpay for Sam Darnold because I think he's reached his ceiling. We know what he is, right?
Somebody's going to overpay.
Sam Darnold. Somebody's going to overpay. Cousins, you could take a run. I think Cousins got a little bit left in the tank, man. Cousins not a bad starting quarterback. So out of this group, I would take a run at Cousins if I can get him at a decent
Cousins
deal.
Got a lot in the tank, man.
Cousins got something left in the tank, man.
The thing about Kirk Cousins is, though, Kirk Cousins thrived in the offense where he had a good offensive line and great receivers.
Great receivers.
And right now, and granted, they got a very good receiver over there in New York.
They need another one.
But I don't know about
that.
They
need another one on the other side.
They do. And I don't know about that offensive line holding up enough for Kirk Cousins to survive. He's not a mobile quarterback, and he's even less mobile after that Achilles. You know, that was all proof positive in Atlanta. He had good receivers, good tight ends in Atlanta, and he couldn't move. And he couldn't throw because throwing off that back foot was spook him. That's why I think right now he's regulated to a backup role anywhere that he goes. I don't see him being a starter on week 1 for an NFL team.
You don't sign Kirk Cousins unless he's a starter. So stop that right now. If anybody signs Kirk Cousins, he's a starter. You're not signing Kirk Cousins to be a backup. Stop that narrative now.
Kirk Cousins can buy you time, man. It could buy you time.
Now, if he goes to backup throughout the season, that's a different subject. But when you sign Kirk Cousins right now, you're signing him to be the starter. You're not signing him to be the backup. Stop it.
Well,
just stop it.
I heard the Giants want somebody that they can free agent and waiting for the Manning.
Agreed. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that, and that's why.
Sean, you didn't put Aaron Rodgers in this group.
That's let me further know they're not going to draft a rookie quarterback just to draft a rookie quarterback. They're going to go free agency. I've been telling y'all this for months. They're going to go free agency. They're not going to draft just number 3. You got to draft a quarterback. No, they're not going to do it. And y'all think it's crazy, but I'm telling you, they're not going to do it. I've been following the Giants, Bleacher Report, Giants, all that. They're not going. They don't like these rookie quarterbacks. They don't like them.
So looking at these guys, what do you think are out of fits? I think Minnesota may move on from Darnold. I know people are kind of,
But
it's 50-50, but I think Minnesota's, because you got to think what is going to take to sign him.
Do you tag him and see McCarthy? Do you tag him another year because he won you games? Or do you give him a 2-3 year contract, which halts McCarthy, who you drafted in the top 10?
Yeah,
I think they're gonna hold him for.
Here's the question, though. Here's the question: do you trade McCarthy?
Yeah,
right.
Well, you don't know if he's healthy, and other teams don't know if he's healthy.
Would the Giants be willing to take JJ McCarthy in a trade? Would they trade for him? Now that's a dude that
what we got to give up. What we got to give up?
Whatever they feel like, because you ain't
getting a number 3 pick for him.
He's better than any of the quarterbacks coming out this year.
He sure is.
Okay, I give you that, but you're not getting a number 3 pick for him.
You bet. It starts with the number 3 pick, because why not? If you draft, there's a quarterback. A number 3 pick is a quarterback.
The only reason I'm giving him up for is number
3 pick ain't a quarterback. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all.
I'm only giving him up for the number 3 pick, Sean. That's the only way I'm giving him up.
Yeah, not just that.
You ain't giving him for no second, third round, and I just took him at 9.
Well, hang up the phone and lose my number.
No, it's gonna start. It's gonna be at least 2 picks if you want JJ McCarthy.
No, I agree with that, but it ain't gonna be the number 3 pick.
Oh, that's where it's starting. If it's talking to the Giants, that's what I'm just asking if that's something you would do, because he's better than quarterbacks coming out now this year.
To answer your question, I would take McCarthy. Yes, I would, but I'm not giving up the number 3 pick for him. I'm not doing that.
You don't think that you're not giving up a first round pick for a first round quarterback?
Well, we don't know if he's a first round quarterback. The man coming off injury.
He is a first round. He was.
So I'm not giving you my number 3 pick for a dude that I don't know is healthy. No, I'm not doing that.
He's coming.
I'll give you some picks for him. Yes.
So first of all, he's a first round quarterback because he was picked in the first round. So he's a first round quarterback. So
okay, but I'm not giving you my number 3 pick for a dude coming off injury. It's a reason you trade them. So I gotta think about this. You drafted him, and he a first round pick, right? You drafted. Why you trading him a year later?
Because
the man never played. The man never played one down for you. Why
you
you
need
trading?
a quarterback, and we'll take your picks. That's what it is. You need a quarterback.
No.
Darnold. No. Yes.
No,
You need a
let's
quarterback.
analyze the case.
Hold on, let me finish.
Why
Let
are
me
you
finish,
trading
and I'll
him?
let you.
And you just drafted him, and the man never played a down.
Hold on, man. Let me finish.
Why are you willing to trade him?
Hold on, Kev.
You said the same thing twice. You said the same thing twice. I said we're going to trade you because you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback, so we'll trade him for picks. That's what we'll do. That's not that we don't believe in J.J. McCarthy, but we think we can win. We can win with Sam Darnold, minus those last two games of the season. He had a phenomenal year, so we think we can go with Sam Darnold. So if you want to come get him, we'll trade him for picks. That's why you trade him. He's an asset. Sam Darnold showed that he played very well in all those games except the last two. So if they decide that
when they counted
the whole season of work was better than those had more impact than those last two, then they may want to trade him. If they don't, if they think Sam Darnold in the toughest moments of the season, then yeah, they might let him walk or they might franchise him. But that's why they're trading. That's why they were trading, because someone else may want him really, really bad. You know you can get Sam Darnold if you're the Vikings. You know you can re-sign him. You know you can tag him. You know you got him for another year, and you're going to be a quality team who's going to vie for the NFC North. Very low bar, but nonetheless, you're going to buy for the NFC North.
I'm gonna go off your philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted first round, so he's a first round draft pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off your philosophy.
Top 10.
But what I'm not gonna do is give you my third pick of this year, right? For him, because he was first round last year. You drafted him first round. Don't mean we would.
Right.
So he's coming off injury. We ain't never seen the man play an NFL game.
Nope.
So I'm coming from a different perspective.
Or anyone else.
Hold on. I'm coming from a different perspective.
Okay.
We knew you was good a year ago when you first came in the league. Now you've been injured and you had a setback. I'm not going to give Minnesota my third pick for you. I'll take you. Not for my third pick. I don't know if you're healthy. I knew you was good a year ago. This is business. So you're not, it's the reason you willing to give up. You willing to give him up. Right? Because if you think he was all that, you wouldn't be willing to trade him.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking business. I'm thinking business.
Kev, like Sean said, you have an asset, right? If I have two starting quarterbacks and they're quarterback needy teams out here, why wouldn't I put the filler out?
You don't have to start. You got Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
Well, you got JJ McCarthy as well. Daniel Jones is a free agent, and now you got JJ McCarthy, right? So you got somebody people feel can be a starting quarterback, or at least can be groomed into one. You got a coach who's known for grooming quarterbacks, right? I think it's a great point. If you're the Giants, you got to at least take the phone call to think about it. You can't just shoot it down and say we don't know.
I'll take the phone call, but I'm not giving you my number 3 pick. As soon as you mention my number 3 pick, I'm hanging up the phone.
But here's the best part about it. He's locked under contract for 5 years at a reasonable rate.
Yeah, he's on a rookie contract. Yes.
The cap is already going up. The cap's going to go up $22 to $26 million this year. They haven't settled it, so you got more money to go build an offensive line if you need it. Receivers if you need it. You got stuff to put around this kid who was probably one of the top quarterbacks coming out of who was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of the draft last year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying okay, that's all. I think that's something that needs to be explored, because
I'm just not giving you my Sean, you're absolutely right. I'm just not giving you my number 3 pick.
You're talking from a fan's point of view, man.
No, I'm talking from a business point of view. I'm not giving you my number 3 pick.
I think so. Here's an even better question. If the Giants could do it all over again, would they took a quarterback last year with Malik Neighbors?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
If they could do it all over again.
I answered the question. No.
Because remember, Dabo wanted a quarterback. We saw the off-season thing with the Giants.
He did.
Dabo wanted a quarterback last year.
Dabo wanted a quarterback, yes.
So wait a minute. Wait. So that makes me wonder the relationship between the head coach and the general manager. Because if I'm the head coach and I talk to my general manager, I want this quarterback, and you say, no, F you, I'm getting a receiver. Well, who the hell's going to receiver? Who's going to throw the receiver? I mean, this should be lockstep. Just like with the Bears. Like Ben Johnson should get whatever the hell he wants. Obviously, the
He will,
GM
though.
has the last say.
He will. He's the new coach. Ben Johnson to get whatever the fuck he wants.
I know we're talking. It should be heavily influenced. Each draft pick should be heavily influenced by the head coach. And if Brian Dable wanted to get a quarterback in New York, what's going on? Something's rotten in Denmark or something's rotten in New York. Because
it ain't got nothing to do with the GM. It got to do with the owner that's paying that already signed off on paying Daniel Jones. So because you was paying, and I said this last year, because they're paying him and they're locked with him, they're not going to draft a fucking quarterback at a high position. I said that all last year. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy. I said they're locked into Daniel Jones. They're not drafting a quarterback at that high position because they got to pay this motherfucker. And they're already locked in. I said that. That's the owner's perspective.
Yeah,
it's not the GM.
But you're no longer locked in at quarterback now. So what do you do now?
Still paying them,
but now they're not. No. Now they're not. No. But that doesn't mean you draft a Cam Ward, you draft a Shedeur Sanders just because they got the third pick. They're not sold on them. They're not. People want the Giants to be sold because they're number 3. They're not sold on them. So now what? Do y'all look at it from that perspective? Or y'all look at it, well, they got to draft a quarterback. They need a quarterback. Why don't you just draft? They're there. They're number 3. No. They're not sold on them.
All right, Kev, we got that, which is why I gave you another option, the J.J. McCarthy option. That's why.
The McCarthy option is out there, but not for the third pick, Sean.
The other quarterbacks coming out this year.
Not for the third pick, Sean.
Okay.
I'm going to stand on that. Not for the third pick.
But would the Giants do it? You wouldn't do it. You think the Giants would do it?
I don't. Because if that was the case, they would get a third pick up for Stafford. Remember that rumor? They would get a third pick up for Stafford. They sold on that.
Not giving up the third pick, but somebody might retire in a year.
Very true.
But the Rams want that. The Rams say, we're giving you our starting quarterback. We need that third pick.
That's what the Rams, bro.
The Giants are hesitant.
It would make more sense to trade for McCarthy.
Now let me ask you this. Why y'all think the Giants are hesitant on giving up third pick for Stafford?
Because
he's 37.
Okay.
JJ's nowhere near 20. He's 22.
No, I get it.
That's a 15-year difference. There could be your franchise quarterback right there. That was just my question. I just want to consider that the trading for JJ McCarthy. I'm out.
I think it's a lot left to come out, and then like guys were saying,
you don't see how I play in the next month.
We won't know more until free agency gets started. So this obviously be something we'll come back and talk around. Got about 15 minutes left in the show. I'm gonna move on to the NBA real quick. I got a little, I don't even know necessarily I'd call it trivia, but just something I found very, very interesting. So we get into the second half stretch. We got in the power rankings, OKC, Cleveland, Boston still up there, Denver, Memphis is starting to come on real tough here in the second half. And then you got those second-tier teams like the Lakers, the Knicks, Houston, Minnesota, and probably Indy. So talk about second half records, second half, the best second half of the season records for NBA teams. Which team out of those teams I named or the teams that you guys think of, which team do you think is going to make the biggest second half run going into the playoffs?
Who'd you say again?
Just think about the top teams in the NBA. You could pick anybody you want. But I'm just saying, which one of these teams I think is geared up for the strongest second half run?
I'm gonna go with Denver. The team that's on the 9-game win streak. I'm gonna go with Denver, and they've been there before. They look like they're getting healthy. That's team, and we see tonight they play the Lakers tonight. But Denver, with the Joker, clearly top 3 in the league, whatever, maybe the best player in the league.
What's called it?
And Jamal Murray is back.
Right before he got hurt. He been playing.
He's back. So I'm a roll with Denver.
All right. Any other teams y'all think might make this run?
Well, I know I'm gonna get some hate, but I got rationale. Golden State will make a run into the 6 or 7 spot because right now they went from 10 to 9. And the reason I say them is because they got the easiest schedule out of any team left in the NBA.
Good pick.
And they are now.
Golden State have end up 8.
They 4-1 since the Jimmy trade, and everybody talked about that trade. I'm one of them that talked about that trade, but Jimmy give them an inside presence, and he ain't out there jacking threes. He at the free throw line, something that they missed for several years. So that's who I say will have a better second half.
Good call.
It's 30 games left. Golden State will not come out to play in. Golden State at best will go to 8 or something like that. They'll still be in the play-in. You gotta when you shoot from 9th or 10th to 6 or 7, you gotta rely on the teams at 6 or 7 to lose.
Well, okay, let me show you who
those teams ain't all of a sudden gonna start losing in the
care.
last 30 games, and you're gonna start winning. You can't do that. So you gotta predict.
You gonna stop talking so I can answer your question?
Well, I wasn't done. You gotta go from if you 9 and 10. No, I'm not. If you 9 and 10, realistically,
lost Fox, bro. Now you depending on Rosen and Levine. Stop it. Okay, Minnesota, they've been up and down. Then you got Dallas that made the trade and got rid of Luka. And guess what? The person they traded for, he ain't even playing.
All
the big man for them is hurt. That's why they losing. So that's why I'm telling you they're gonna make that jump. And then you got the Clippers, who you don't know who gonna show up on every night. So guess what? I'll go with Golden State taking the 6th spot. We already got the bet. So be ready.
So you're gonna go from 9 to 10 to 6 or 7 in 30 games.
It's possible.
That's not realistic.
It is realistic.
I'm not saying it's not impossible because possible things happen.
He just told you why though.
Right, but
and
you're not.
They got the easiest schedule out of any of the.
What do you mean?
NBA.
How's it easy? And you couldn't beat them early in the year. How's it easy?
I'm saying it's easy because everybody is under 500 on their schedule. The majority.
But you've been under 500 too. But you've been under 500 too. So you can't say it's an easy schedule. But here's the thing. You can't say it's an easy schedule when you've been under 500 too. So it ain't easy. Y'all been in the same boat.
So what's the question is what's the game difference between those teams though? Like what's the difference between 9 and 6 right now? Like 2 or 3 games?
Yeah.
What is it?
They all because it's all bunched up right now.
2 games left.
That's all bunched up.
It's 2 games.
2 games.
It's only a 2-game difference.
So if it was that easy, you wouldn't be 9 and 10.
Oh yeah, it's realistic, Kev.
So
they 2 and a half.
What I'm saying is, it's not like a guarantee, bro.
He didn't say it was a guarantee, Kev. He said it's a possibility. He said it's guaranteed.
All right, it's 2. They're only 2.5 back from 6.
Here's one thing to kind of highlight in that Golden State, as good as they've been playing lately, and I agree they've been playing more, playing better since Jimmy got there. They're 2-10 against the division, and you already know the NBA got to set up to play a few more division games towards the end of the season to draw viewers in. That's the only thing that scares me about Golden State right now. Is their division record is not very good. So as you play those teams, you playing them in back-to-backs and things like that, it may not be slated for them to have the best second half.
But Ben,
there's the Lakers in that division.
What about the Jimmy trade though? How's that going to affect it? How's the Jimmy trade going to affect the conference? Because I know they've had a tough time in the division. But now that they got Jimmy, that's a different animal. Ben talked about him, the way his driving ability, his ability to get to the free throw line, which is huge. That's something they haven't had. That could be a moot point. The fact that they've been 2-10 because they didn't have Jimmy before this. You got to factor that in. How do you think that's going to affect them moving forward? Because they're playing with a lot more confidence now because of Jimmy. Everybody.
Hey Ben, don't they got a stretch of home games coming up too?
Yeah. Look, the only team they play Dallas.
Are the Lakers in that?
They play.
No.
You're not listening, bro. They don't play them no more.
They don't.
Oh, well, you lucky. You lucky.
They play the Hornets. They play the Magic. They got the Knicks. Okay, they got the Nuggets. Those are two key games. They play the Bucks. Cool. Raptors, Hawks, Heat, Pelicans, Spurs. Come on, bro.
Oh damn! Yeah,
I'm giving you facts here.
A game and a half out of 6, man. They got a shot.
Minute,
2.5
Kevin.
out of 6. They got a shot. They definitely got a shot.
April 3rd, Kevin. Me and you. They do play the Lakers one more time.
Last
Bet.
game.
Bet.
It's a bet.
Man, we whoop y'all ass for fun now. It's just comedy at this point.
Say the word, Kev.
It's just comedy at this point.
Right, but see, you don't have the nuts to say bet.
Right, but you ain't said bet to this point. Why you saying bet now?
I said bet all the time. Hey,
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Don't do that.
Yeah, Jimmy,
don't
man.
do that on the national stage. Don't do that. No, you didn't.
Sound a little scared. Kev sound a little scared.
Tell me about it. Tell me about
the
it.
Lakers been whooping Golden State's ass all year. The man ain't never said bet. Now all of a sudden he got confidence. He got a little spine in him. Now he got a little spine in him. He want to say April 3rd, but the man ain't said bet all year.
Make the bet and prove him wrong. I think he's scared.
Right.
I ain't never been scared. You'll never pressure me, brother.
Ain't no pressure.
Make the bet.
I ain't never been scared. The man ain't said bet all year, and all of a sudden he want to say bet.
I wish
the Lakers been whooping Golden State's ass all year. Man ain't ain't never said bet. Now all of a sudden he got Jimmy Butler. He want to say bet.
No, you haven't taken the bet. That's the thing.
You ain't never said bet. You ain't never said bet. You have never said bet. Stop. Don't do that.
Wait a minute. Y'all got Luka. Why you ain't betting?
Right.
Again, DY. You never put pressure on me. I don't fall for that. So don't do that. But
that ain't no pressure.
Ben, I'll take it.
Well, hey Ben, my team got the Lakers next Saturday on the 8th.
He ain't gonna take that bet either.
Ben, I'll take the bet. Lakers Golden State. Hey,
bet.
I'll take it.
KDL only taking bets for the Lakers against the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
I ain't betting nothing, brother. I ain't never said I was betting.
This is how I'm looking at Kev.
Never said. I ain't never said I was betting, and y'all ain't gonna pressure me to do it.
I'm looking at
so y'all can kind of
I kind of noticed you and Cat Williams looking like y'all favor that picture.
They actually hold their drinking glasses like, put that picture back up again for me, Ben. Let me see that.
Yeah,
he was like this. That's how Kevin be doing with his too.
I will not.
Yeah.
Top five second half of the season comebacks. I'll start at number 5. 2018 Houston went 21-4.
Dang.
That was the James Harden team that lost in the Western Conference Finals in that Game 7 to Golden State.
You mean they was up 3-2?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And they missed 27 straight threes in that game. That was the game James Harden famously became known as the choke artist.
Chris Paul got hurt that series too.
That's right. Number 4, the 2011 Chicago Bulls went 24-4. That was D-Rose MVP season. And we lost in 5 games in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Miami Heat.
Dang.
Wait, y'all went to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Stop it, man. Stop it. You knew that.
They went 24. I didn't know they went 24-4 that year.
Damn. Went 24-4 that year. Finished 62-20 and lost in 5.
Dang.
We won game 1 and then didn't win nothing else. Number 3, the 2013 Denver Nuggets went 24-4, finished with the best record in the NBA without an All-Star. And they fired George Karl at the end of the year after winning Coach of the Year.
Wow.
That's fuck him.
Y'all remember? Anybody remember who's on that team?
Was that Melo and Iverson?
That was Iguodala, Gallinari, Corey Brewer, JaVale McGee, Andre Miller, Like definitely no all-stars on that team, but
solid players. Solid players.
I remember that team though. I do remember that team.
Yeah, that team had a squad. Number 2, 2005 Denver Nuggets went 25-4. They hired George Karl mid-season, and Melo had the second highest points per game after the break.
I remember that.
George Karl, the coach.
And then at number 1, the greatest second half in NBA history, the 2013 Miami Heat went 30-2 and won their second NBA championship that year. What a run.
Damn. I mean, all 5. I mean, the thing NBA, because it's any given night, you know what I mean?
It gotta be Miami.
But that's pretty impressive.
30-2.
Yeah.
30-2.
And then won the chip.
And won their second chip.
That's the second one.
Damn.
Gotta be Miami.
Yeah.
Greatest second half in NBA history. All right, that about wraps it up. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and give our parting shots for the day. Started off with my boy Face Mob. Go ahead and let them know.
Hey man, I'm just glad I was able to get in when I got in. Thanks everybody for viewing. That's neither here nor there because now we are into Pisces seasons and we're gonna celebrate it just like we do any other season. So strap in your seatbelts. Let's go.
Strap on. What?
I said strap in your seatbelts, boy. Get your mind out of whatever gutter you in.
Hell no.
For real.
I just was checking for understanding what you said.
Whatever you talking about.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, you should be. That being said, that
I thought that's what you said, bro. You were breaking up. You were breaking up.
Let's go to KDL. KDL parting shot.
I basically want to say thanks for tuning in to everybody that's along for this ride every Saturday. Unless you're a Pisces, you really don't give a damn about Pisces. But welcome Pisces to the season. What? Aquarius season went by so fast. Hell, we didn't even know it was Aquarius season. But we'll get a Pisces they do. We coming into Pisces season. Let's go along for this ride. Let's see what this do. But let's see what this do. My man Pat of Pisces. Happy Pisces season, everybody.
Damani, go ahead.
Yeah, man. March 21st, blackout time, baby. You see what it says. Time for the blackout. Rep your college team edition, guys. Come on out. Rep your favorite college team or your alumni, whatever you want to do. Hell, I saw some Daily College hoodies on sale on Amazon for about $4. So I'm gonna grab you 2 or 3 of them joints.
You know,
yeah. Come on out.
Chicago State jerseys on 95th and King Drive. Free.
And Pisces season, man. Happy birthday to Chef Leslie, man. Tonight, celebrate you, sweetie. It's a big one, 6-0, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Blackwell. Last night was a blast. What other Pisces I know? My mom, of course. Who else? Oh, Pat. Yeah, my boy Face. My boy Face coming up, man. Happy Pisces season. And just so you sit up on the screen, man. 10th anniversary. Say the date. June. It's actually the new flyer is out the 21st and the 22nd. So the dates have changed. The 21st and 22nd, man. Come hang out with us. Celebrate 10 years of foolery and madness, including this show. As this show has been 10 years running, man. So thank you guys for the support. Continue supporting. Holla back.
Always definitely appreciate everybody tuning in for the show. Shout out to Pisces season. My mom Deuce is a Pisces also. Shout out to Chef Les. We'll be in the building tonight. I'll be on the 1s and 2s for a little bit too. Give her props, her flowers on this great birthday that she getting ready to celebrate. Shout out to the fellas. Make sure everybody start putting them days in right now for blackout. You know, you got to put those days off 2 weeks in advance. We at the 2-week mark, or we ahead of the 2-week mark. Make sure you get them days off, and we'll see everybody next week. Ben, take us home.
Thank you guys, as we always do. Where there's smoke,
there's fellas.
Go.